Good morning. What's up, everybody? It's Friday. It's a weekend, hopefully, of rest and relaxation. But I know a lot of you have some things planned. But guess what? It's the weekend. And
Yes, it is.
listen, look who's hanging out with me today. Of course, Pastor KJ is back. Prophet KJ is back. Pastor Rich Miller, the pastor of comments.
Yes, sir.
He's in the box. Y'all come on in. What's up, KJ? What's up, Pastor Rich?
What's
What's
going
good?
on, Pastor Cherie? It's a great day to be alive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I concur. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Michelle. They're coming in, y'all. They're coming in. And so, of course, you know, the order for the room is you come in, of course, you speak. Then we ask that you declare your day. That means you put it in the atmosphere what kind of day you are going to be intentional about having. And then after that, we ask that you get in the grind and start helping us with this outreach evangelism and start tagging people in the chat and start sharing this live link to your page so that, and we know it's true, some people are just scrolling.
Right.
They see it because they're your friend and they come on in. All right. So do that for us today. What's up, Pastor Jonathan Louder? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
Listen, y'all, I'm excited to be in the room tonight. Listen, I need my campus staff, y'all, to go ahead. I'm on site today, so I need my Facebook staff, my YouTube staff at the various campuses. Y'all handle it because I'm in the room today. So please,
Right.
I don't need my boss, Pastor Cherie. It rolls downhill, Pastor Nate gets on her and she called me into the office and I got to account for what's going on at the campuses. So please be on your job today.
Just like that. Just like that. Now, do you have a point person? Because now you know everybody.
I was about to say you gonna call names.
Everybody
You gonna call names.
Yes, the YouTube point person today is Tracy Lewis, T. Lou.
T. Lou, you're on for YouTube today.
And I'm going to split the duties on Facebook between, I saw Corinthia jumped in she was real strong one. So we're gonna go with Corinthia and Rohanna Jones. They're on it. So I'm hopeful they can handle the Facebook comments today. So I'm
Right.
Assigning them those duties.
Don't make him shame.
Yeah.
Do not.
I love it. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. I love it. I see them coming in. They coming on in.
Fun and fantastic Friday because God is faithful. Michelle,
Amen.
I saw this picture. I don't know when you took it, but that hat you had on, that was all right. It was white, wide brim. It's time for fedoras because it's fall.
It is fall.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love fall.
I do too. Fall makes me want to cook so much though and eat and just be cozy. I don't know. So yeah, I ate everything I shouldn't have. I was like, you know what? This is vacation because it started in Vegas. They were like, "Oh, you're in Vegas." Yeah. And so I ate some stuff.
Some stuff.
I ate some bread. Been laying off of bread and all that, but that
right.
pretzel bread. It was it was hot and it was soft.
Oh,
butter.
Oh,
good Lord.
Listen,
so, yeah, I did.
It's those times where you can say, "Listen, just bring me my water, and I don't need no check because I'm done. I'm good with the bread."
Just put the bread basket right here. Y'all get
Wow.
y'all. Yeah, bread is one of my weaknesses.
Mine too. Bread and potatoes.
Good morning, Shari. Yes, foul. It makes me want to cook.
I'm envious of y'all. I'm envious because as much as y'all love San Diego weather, we really don't get fall. We don't get seasons here. So you know, it's 75, 80 degrees in November. It's 70 degrees, 80 degrees in December. So we don't get to experience that weather change. So yes, man.
Air.
Right. Man. So although we want to dress, you know, we want to put on the sweaters and the turtlenecks and come on, the pea coats and the overcoats and, you know, the fall colors. Come with it. Put your boots on. We don't get to do all that. We be hot.
So
we be
sweating. Wear fall colors though.
We'll wear it, but we be hot.
Yeah. Now, why do the folks in LA still wear those? They're just crazy like that?
We fashion. That's all.
Right.
You love the fashion, so you go ahead and do it. But man, it be hot. San Diego know what I'm talking about. We might get a day or two here, but yeah.
There, like I rack up on winter clothes, and because they are plentiful and they don't cost a lot because y'all don't have need of it. So yeah, like I shop so much still. I'll tell Pearly, could you just ship this to my house because I ain't got no room in my luggage. Here's my address. So listen, we be hot. But yeah, I would love to. I think it was a year before last, or I don't know. I was there and I was like, they would tell me that it's hot on Christmas. I was like, I would love to put on a sundress.
Oh, yeah.
At Christmas time.
It's absolutely
that
possible.
Year, Ed, you remember it was hot on Christmas.
Yeah.
I say
nice.
Yeah, I don't have to have the snow, but I do love the fall weather. It's just something about the air.
Yeah.
That calls for pumpkin spice and just sit and have coffee. I was talking to my pastor and the staff, and I was just telling them how like I like to get up early enough most days where I can just sit and have my coffee, not on the run, not while I'm working. I just want to sit down, enjoy my coffee, read my Bible, or turn on the TV. He said, "You have officially entered the old people's club." I would, hey, call it what I said. Now add this part. Add this part. Before I do anything, I gotta take my blood pressure. I gotta get my blood pressure, and then I have my coffee.
Yeah, we there.
It's just something about uninterrupted. I just want to enjoy it. So.
Cherie, next is if you haven't already got there, is that 1-2 rock before you get up. You know, you gotta.
I'm there.
Okay, you're there. Okay.
Yes, honey, I gotta get my footing together.
And rubbing your legs for no reason.
Right. Listen, I told myself I might look young, but baby, these knees 51. And they 51. They remind me every now and then. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So listen, do we have any first timers in the room? If this is your first time in the Faith Room, let us know. And this is what we want you to do. Type the number 1. Then next to that, I want you to type where you're watching from. And then if you don't mind, let us know how you got here. Did somebody tag you? Were you scrolling? Did you hear about it and decide to come check us out? Let us know how you got here. Pastor Louder says Georgia has 3 seasons: spring, summer, and fall and winter. Feels the same. Now, our winters can sometimes get treacherous here.
Yeah.
In Arkansas. Because we
icy.
get when that ice comes. Yeah. And it, like you would think we'd be prepared by now. But a lot of times, depending on the grid and where it is, it shuts the city down. No electricity.
Yes, Lord.
That's the part I don't like.
Man.
I like staying at home, but I need power. I need electricity. So.
Pastor Cherie T. Lou said that pumpkin spice at Starbucks ain't hitting for her.
I'm so sorry. Let me tell y'all what I tried yesterday at the airport last night. I went on a try since I'm out here. I'm like, I've been eating everything I ain't supposed to eat. Let me try this apple crisp. With the oat milk and all that. It was so good. It's a little sweet though. It may be because I have not been eating sugar.
Mm-hmm.
It's sweet because all that syrup is in the bottom. But it's good. Y'all should try it.
Okay.
Apple crisp.
Apple crisp. Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe Tracy, try that one. You might like that. It's kind of apple, cinnamon, that whole hint of y'all know that flavor I'm talking about. Like
you need to get Starbucks to underwrite the Faith Room.
Right.
That way.
Come on, sponsorships.
Yeah.
Kim.
She said it's fucking spicy anything.
Lord.
Yes. What you Elder is so good. Which one you like? Apple crisp Gwen or pumpkin spice? Okay, so I got an apple crisp witness.
Okay.
So this chai, I don't, that's like tea, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna want that.
This one. Right
I mean,
here.
I hear people, I don't know that I can like, I hear people getting it all the time. But
I think
because it's like tea with milk. What is that?
Yeah, I can't deal with the chai seeds.
Seeds are in there?
Yeah, that's what they make the tea out of.
Yeah, no. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Look, the headache chai tea is good. I'm a coffee drinker, so I like that. I put cinnamon in my coffee grinds. I do that when I was used to use coffee grinds, but now that I do the pods, not so much. But yeah, if you still brew your coffee where you put your coffee in the filter, put some cinnamon on top of that, and the taste is phenomenal.
I'm gonna try that because I brew my coffee, so yeah I'm gonna try that.
When you put your coffee in there, put some cinnamon on top of it.
Do you grind your own coffee?
No, sir. I'm not there yet.
I was about to.
You have to be serious.
This dude.
Man.
Listen, good morning. I'm sorry, y'all. I see some of y'all speaking. You've been talking. Good morning. We love y'all. Yes, Shimmy, Free Friday. Absolutely. We love y'all. I saw somebody even pushing us a little bit. I caught the comment. They asked for first timers. Somebody asked for first timers, and
I did.
So,
after the fact. Come with us. I've already asked.
Right.
Yeah. Who over the comments? Rowana Corinthia.
Right.
Say it with me. Rowana Corinthia.
And T. Lou on the
over there on
YouTube campus.
I have already asked for first timers. God bless your spirit, though. We appreciate it. All right. Look at this. We bring you greetings from the Faith Room, where we bring resolve to real life situations. If this is your first time visiting us, please place a number 1. Tell us where you're watching from and who invited you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
That's my staff.
Rich.
That's my staff right there.
I haven't seen any first timers though since I asked. Yes, I'm back. I am back.
Like she never left.
No, so yeah, our day started at 9 this week at the retreat, so I could not. So yesterday, Pastor let us start later so we could, chill out for a minute. And so that's how I was able to get in on yesterday. We started our day started 10:30, 10:45.
Nice.
So, okay, I don't see any first timers.
If there were, I missed it. I didn't see any either.
Wait, when Michelle, I'm excited about having my first adult birthday. Is it a birthday party?
What?
Wow.
Happy birthday, Michelle.
Yes, celebrating life.
Birthday? Yes, y'all. We got to celebrate, love on each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can. I'm telling you. It's in order because when things happen, a lot of times it's too late to express.
Right.
Should have said to your loved ones while they could hear you. Her birthday is the 23rd. Wait, the
23rd.
party. The party is the 23rd. Okay. Well, happy birthday. I don't know if it's already passed or whatever, but happy birthday. Y'all, let's wish Michelle Williams, who is a faithful faith roomer. Let's wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I hope you kick it till you can't kick it no more, honey.
Absolutely.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Live it up. Live it up. Turn down for wood. Yes, I'm ready. I don't know. Okay. They're sharing love. Okay. So here's her birthday is, child is going so fast.
Birthday is 10/23. Her party's tomorrow.
The party is tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, my oldest son's birthday is on the 23rd.
Who?
Oh, wow.
My oldest son.
Okay.
Christian, yeah.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Christian.
Yeah.
These October. Let's get the month of all months is coming up. So y'all get ready.
Absolutely.
I know KJ went all out for September, but baby, ain't no month.
It's that November. It's that November. Y'all gotta understand.
You're 2 days before Thanksgiving this year, right? Or one day.
I'm on the Saturday after this year.
Saturday after. Okay.
Yep.
You gotta understand, November babies are love babies because we come from the month of February.
Yeah.
That's Valentine's Day. That was love all that whole KJ. That was love all that whole month. So you counted on down.
We are loved.
We are loved.
We came from love.
I know KJ got something to say.
Yeah. I don't have anything to say. My wife's birthday is on 23rd.
All right.
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
Her birthday is on Thanksgiving this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it fluctuates. So the day I was born, it was on Thanksgiving, and so it just every now and then it falls on that day, but it's always that week.
Yeah. I always say I was conceived on Christmas Eve. So
okay.
Wow.
We all have our theories on when we came to be. Yes, November 22nd, Pastor Jonathan Louder.
See, J Loud.
Louder.
Bring the love.
Yes.
So we all like in the same week. Jonathan Louder, Deborah, Cherie. When is yours, Pastor Richard?
I'm the 7th.
Okay, so you're at the top of the month.
Yeah.
Okay. Got a 14.
Wow.
Listen, tell me, is it love or love? However, we're gonna read our story.
It was an experience.
Right.
Yes.
It was love.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, what I'm gonna do is get ready for the question of the day so that we can go. So here, y'all, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the cue of the day, and then after that, we're going to if you have questions from the week, we've been talking about shift and all of that. I think this Pastor Jonathan just kicked it off.
Yeah.
And it all started with tag, put me in, coach, put me in the game, because that was Monday. So I had Monday off. Nate was like, well, I was like, you can send me the link. Well, he didn't. I got up and everything. And I was like, okay, I see he has already started the show. Let me go back and do whatever I was doing. Let me get my coffee, sit down.
Right.
And so Pastor Jonathan was like, hey, send me the link. And the rest is history.
Wow.
So I haven't, I was able to watch that show. I was able to catch a little bit of Cadrick yesterday. So I do have to go back and play catch up on all of it because I just believe it was life-changing just based on the conversation I had with Nate today.
No doubt.
Listen, this is what I want you guys to do. If you have questions for Pastor KJ, Pastor Rich, please go ahead and start getting them together. They are here today to kind of help you through or at least point you in the right direction. If they don't have the answer,
right,
point you in the right direction. But first, let's get our question of the day going. Let me get that set up. And I'm just excited about a great discussion today, life-changing. And let me say this, with all of this great word, all these nuggets helping you get through your life, we need you guys to start sowing. We got a report. It ain't been good.
Oh Lord.
It ain't. Y'all been coming to the restaurant, eating it and ducking out their door. You've been stealing. Okay. So we need you to put some seed in the ground, bro. Sis. Do it.
Amen.
I'm gonna say, I know Nate probably don't want me to say it, but it's been to the point where we're having to come out of our pockets to make things happen.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that ain't the will of God. Show ain't
No.
real for my life. It is not for my pocketbook. It is not. I can't speak for Nate, but that ain't God's will for over here. So here's what we need y'all to do. If you don't want to see a blank screen, all right, I'm just saying, do your part. Do your part. Don't be getting and whatever. And we never, we ask for $20 seeds on Fridays, but if you don't have 20, then we ain't talking to you. Do what you can.
Yeah.
Purpose in your heart to sow something. The Bible says he gives seed to the sower.
Amen.
So if you're a sower, guess what you're going to have? Seed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He gives
So
seed to the sower.
There it is.
Bread to the eater.
That's
And
Bible.
we gotta stop eating our seed. Eat your bread, sow your seed. Okay, so let's do right today. I'll put the cash tag up here in a little bit after we get through this. I just need to say it while it was fresh on my mind.
yeah.
We got to do better. We got to do better because if we want to bring quality, these men, though they're in here all the time, we want to do right by them. You people's time is priceless, but we want to be considerate of people's time. They're getting up early in the morning. Pastor Rich is 7 something where you are. So, and he's not telling me to do this at all. Neither one of them. But what I am saying is when we ask people to come in here and enrich our lives, we don't just bring no willy-nilly people. We bring people who really put time in and study and make sure that what they're saying is on point and accurate to make sure that we, you, me, all of us in the room get the best product, which is Jesus Christ, and how to live our lives accordingly. And so we got to do right. Listen, a chicken sandwich, go to the dry cleaners and whatever. I don't know, but we need to sow a seed into their lives. And so we want you, they don't just come and preach to me and Nate. Okay. And so it's not fair to me and Nate have to sometimes make sure they get what we want them to have. Does that make sense?
Amen.
Of course it does. All right. So here we go. Let's get ready to jam for the lamb and shake them pockets.
Yo, Faith Room, what's mobbing, man? Faith Room, it's time for the question of the day. Faith Room, stand up. It's time for the question of the day. You here with Pastor Nathan and Pastor Sharia. They here to give you what you need to be free. This is the place with real people and real problems and real questions. They through. Stand up. Yeah, come on, y'all. It's time for the question of the day. Stand up. It's time for the question of the day.
All right.
It's a banger.
It's Friday. I want to keep it real. I'm acting like my brother. Let's do it one time. Hey, one time for the one time.
For the question of the day.
Get it. Hey.
It's time for the question of the day.
One more time.
Here with Pastor Nathan and Pastor
do it.
Okay, I think I did it right this time. If not, we just gonna hit the mute button. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so I want to keep it real simple today. Here it is. You got to pick one. Which one would you rather? Grilled cheese sandwich or fried bologna sandwich?
And
Grilled
play
cheese,
right. You
fried-
can't have both.
Play
Don't
play
tell
right.
me neither one. If neither one, then don't answer.
and don't put them together. We ain't trying to have no grilled cheese fried bologna sandwich.
You know your people.
I know my people.
One.
Play right.
Cheese, grilled cheese, grilled cheese, grilled cheese, fried bologna, grilled
Ooh.
cheese all day, fried bologna, grilled cheese,
Oh.
grilled cheese, grilled cheese, grilled cheese, bologna, grilled cheese, is the grilled cheese winning?
Wow.
Grilled cheese, fried bologna, grilled cheese, fried bologna, grilled cheese, grilled cheese, fried bologna, grilled cheese, please. Grilled cheese, fried bologna with mayo and mustard. Grilled cheese. Traumatizes bologna as a child. Huh?
Mm.
Traumatized by bologna maybe as a child.
Mm.
Probably so.
Mm.
Probably had too much.
Give me the fried bologna, slightly burnt.
Mm.
All right, Elder Charles. Grilled cheese, fried bologna with Doritos, fried bologna, grilled cheese. Show me the meat. It's the grilled cheese for me. Okay, fried bologna. My bologna has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My bologna has a second name. It's Skip. A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day. If you ask me why, I'll say, because Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A. Do y'all remember that commercial?
That was
Yep.
a jam.
And I'm over here stumped because I want to say grilled cheese, but I'm thinking about the crispy burnt edges.
Man, that crispy
Then
burn.
that burnt bubble.
Come
You
on,
flip it
that's
over on the other
I can
side.
take
Sir.
both. You know, so do y'all do grilled cheese with soup?
Tomato
Yeah.
soup. Yeah.
Tomato
Yeah.
soup
Yeah.
Mhm.
there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or yeah. That's a good solid. That's gonna
Yeah.
hold you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bologna. Wow, which one would I pick? I guess the bologna sandwich because I'm gonna put some cheese on there. I'm gonna put some mustard and mayo on there.
Right. Right.
Have y'all had the thick? Watch this, and I'm sure y'all have the thick sliced bologna on the grill. Have you like grilled it? Oh my god!
Okay.
Oh my god! Y'all, grilled thick cut bologna. Try it
Right.
on the grill.
Wow.
Those
On
of
the
you grill
grill.
masters, before you put your grills up, try it. It's so good.
Okay.
Okay,
She said, "Oh my God."
I think grilled cheese won. What y'all think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Grilled
definitely
cheese.
more grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese won. Grilled
I'm fried bologna though. I'm with you, Pastor Cherie. I gotta hook that sandwich up, some mayo, some mustard. I'm gonna put a couple drops of hot sauce on mine. You know,
Oh,
I'm just gonna
on the
put
sandwich.
just a little, just to give it a little kick. Just a little kick on it. Yeah.
Okay, look. It's got to be my friend to do this. What did you just tell us not to say? She probably just walked in. We said pick one, Natlin.
Play right, Nat.
Okay. All right. So yeah, grilled cheese won today.
Yeah.
But listen,
And what kind of hot sauce y'all eat in California?
You know, we got the Louisiana, we got Frank's, we
Okay.
got
Okay.
what is the Pete's? What is the other one? Pete's?
Texas Pete.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Because remember that somebody was trying to sue them because it ain't really made in Texas, it's made in North Carolina.
What?
Sir.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody was trying to sue the company. We just be out
Wow.
here wanting money. Go get a job.
Right.
So anyway, All right, so that was the question of the day. So today we're just doing Q&A based on the conversation that was had this week, and I'm happy to get in on the answers and things that you all are going to get because again I have to go back and watch Tuesday through Thursday so that I can play catch up. And so Pastor Rich, let me ask you first. Give us some insights, or what are some of your thoughts on this whole shifting conversation? Because I think it's very important because we're in the fourth quarter of 20. I believe that already. We're in the fourth and final of this year. And so some shifting is about to take place, or it may be taking place. And so just what are your insights on that?
Yeah, it has been amazing. I'm still really, to be honest, stuck on yesterday. That's still fresh in my mind, Pastor KJ. So I'll touch a little bit on that. But anytime I hear the word shift, me being in the Gen X category, age bracket, I automatically think of our era of driving, and we grew up on stick shifts. Yeah. Right. We grew up on manual transmissions. And so the shift always required your participation.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of times we're looking for shifts in the spiritual, and we want God to do everything. We want him to shift everything. We want to operate in an automatic mindset. But that shift requires you to do something. It requires you to step on the clutch. Come on, I got a few on here. You got to step on the clutch. At the same time, you got to balance out that accelerator. You got to play with that just a little bit. And at the same time, now you driving and shifting. You got to be able to multitask. Woo! There's some things you have to do in order to make sure the shift occurs. Wow. So sometimes we want God to do everything, but are you willing to put yourself in the right position? To shift? That's right, T. Luke. It requires participation in this thing. God is amazing. He's great. He's wonderful. But if we go through the Bible, God always required something of that person. You got to get involved. Even people who were healed, he would ask them the question, do you want to be made whole? First off,
yeah,
I can do it. But I want your participation in this. So that shift always brings me to that. Yesterday, Pastor KJ was talking about them earthquakes. Yes, I did hear that. My God, the shifting of those plates and the aftershocks. Oh God, the aftershocks. And I, being from California, living in the state that is known for earthquakes. Yes. Oh, it just resonated so deeply within me, because I thought about, and I think I put it in the comments, how you can have something happen in your life, and 10 years later somebody hears about it and they're impacted by it, but all they're doing is getting the aftershock of what happened in your life. Yeah. Wow. That's the aftershock. And so we got to understand that sometimes in this walk, the things we do, the things we engage in, there are going to be some aftershocks. Don't be thrown off by the aftershocks. Don't be bothered by it. It's going to happen. So yeah, KJ, thank you so much for sharing that. That was powerful for me. Yeah, I was like, you better preach earthquakes. Come on. The breakdown of it all. That blessed me. And it was something, again, because a large our base, we have a large base in California, so it's very practical. And that's one thing you will get in the faith room, practical teaching that you can apply, and it makes sense. It's very applicable. And so you did an excellent job yesterday. Praise God. And then did you just preach stick shift, something that I never mastered. Really. I got stuck on a hill. It's got stuck on them hills. And then your dad had to come get you. Cell phones. It was a lady sitting on her porch. I said, "Can you call my daddy? This our phone number." And my daddy had to come get me. Yeah, I went. I never mastered the stick shift, so I don't know what you're saying. Lord, what are you saying to me today? Okay. But yeah, I can preach. Don't get stuck on the hill. Don't get stuck on the hill. Ooh,
Call
And
my
you gotta
dad.
and here it is, Cherie, and you gotta call your father.
Call my dad. Yes. Come get me. Yeah. So yeah, they were saying the lessons are so relatable. So Pastor KJ, jump in. What else
Yeah.
you got? What else you got?
You know, there were two things that really stuck out to me when Pastor Jay Louder said that Abram, he was comfortable back in Ur of the Chaldees, but he was uncomfortable because God was calling him out. And so the tension between, you know, knowing that God is calling you out, but you're still comfortable, it makes you uncomfortable. And he mentioned how Abram was busy blessing everybody else, but he didn't have his own seed.
Yeah.
And how sometimes we can be so busy taking care of other people, but God has to call us out, because now it's time for us to get our own seed. But we can get so comfortable being a blessing that we don't even know how to be blessed.
Comfortable being a blessing that we don't know. Yeah. That's
wow. Yeah.
That stuck out to me. Yeah.
That Louder's a problem.
He is.
He's in the room. So do y'all have any what stood out for you this week, or if you have a question as it relates to anything from Monday up until today? Let's talk.
Yeah.
Now Pastor Tony Johnson just said something. I don't know
Oh, I caught that.
What is it if you don't know when to shift, you'll burn out the clutch.
Good Lord.
So knowing timing is everything.
Yes.
God.
No, you don't just shift. You got to know when to shift, because you can probably cause a problem, create a problem, shifting at the wrong time.
Then you still can't go nowhere.
Tony's messing with me now, because in order to shift, you got to listen to the sound. There's a sound of your RPMs revving. You got to, it's a sound that you're going to hear to know when to shift. You just don't shift nilly-willy. You have to listen to the sound of your engine. As the RPMs begin to rev, you know it's time to shift. There is a sound, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, but that you got to be in tune.
You got to be in tune.
Yeah. Kim 5 says you can shift before God says to, and I guess she's agreeing. Just like the car, the transmission is your heart, and the engine is your mind. And without the properly timed shift, your internal can be damaged by not listening. Yeah, she's saying the same thing, to when it's time to shift. So what does that look like for us? Sometimes we have to kill the other noise. And this is called being intentional, because of course life happens, and we have to be out here doing what we do, going about our daily occupation. But you have to be very intentional. Carve out that time, whenever, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Carve out time to sit with God, to listen, so that you can hear and know when it's time to shift. Because watch this, even in those quiet moments, I think a lot of times we want to hear this audible voice from God. But once you make your request known, God, like, let him know, I'm very serious, God. I need to know when and how. He may not speak it then, but you may hear when you go to church. Your pastor might speak the answer, and he may not even know. He just saying what God told him, he or she to say. But it's the answer that you need, or you may hear it, I don't know, in the faith room or wherever. You will hear the answer, and you will know. That's right. There's a knowing when you are about.
Oh my God! You
So
said something.
What happens?
Go ahead, Pastor KJ.
What happens when you shift too early because you're anxious and you're overzealous?
Yeah. You'll hear you'll hear a grinding of your gears. There's a grinding of the gears. There's tension. See, when you shift at the right time, it's smooth.
Smooth, yeah.
It works. It moves you forward. But if you shift too soon, you'll feel the jerking. There's conflict in what you're trying to do when you do it when it ain't time to do it.
Ooh, too much striving.
Pastor Cherie, you somebody asked a question. You said, when how do you know the sound? How do you know when? And it took me to David, 2 Samuel, I think it's the 5th chapter. And he was in a battle. He had already won one battle. And he said it was time to go into another battle. And God told him, don't you move until you hear the sound of the rustling of the leaves over your head in the mulberry trees. Now, he had already won the battle before. See, sometimes we think because we already did it once before that we don't need to go back to God to say, God, do you want me to do this again this way? So he waited, and he waited for the right sound. There was going to be a sound that gave him indication that now it's time to move. So yeah, we gotta make sure before we shift that we are in tune to the Holy Spirit.
Yes, sir.
Settle yourself. Settle yourself.
Yeah, that's so good.
And again, it goes back to intentionality. I think you said it. And the intentionality is a large part of our part that we play. But a lot of times we just been programmed to God gonna do it. He gonna do everything. He gonna do this. He gonna do God. No, so he's doing. God is always at work. Yeah. He's always at work around us. But you won't recognize it until you settle yourself.
Right. Oh, that's good.
Intentional, and then he invites you in to work with him. He invites you to get the job done. But a lot of times we miss it because God gonna do it, and God gonna drop it in my lap, and God gonna make a way. He is gonna make a way, but you gonna miss it. That's just like driving. You driving, and have you ever been driving and talking and messing with the music? You drive right past your exit. Yeah. And so now you got to go a few miles further because you were not paying attention. You were like distracted with so much other stuff. That's just like our life. God is already working. He's already made the way. But because you're so distracted and you want to be included on everything everybody's doing, I can't be everywhere.
You can't.
I settle there. I can't be at every party. I can't be at every event. Sometimes I got to make time, settle myself, and be intentional about spending time with God. Because at this point, I can't afford to miss nothing that the Lord would say to me.
Yeah.
So,
and I listen to that, and I think about Pastor Cherie, Pastor Rich, how when Joshua and the children of Israel were getting ready to go into the land of promise, Joshua told them, he said, now, normally you would stay real close to the ark. He said, but put some distance between you and the ark. He said, because you need to watch what the ark is doing, but watch what he says, because you've not gone this way before.
Yes.
And see, there are sometimes where we think we already know what to do, but sometimes we have to sit back and watch God and watch him make a way. But once he makes a way, it's for us to move with him.
Yes.
Because while the people were sitting back watching, the priests who were carrying the ark, they had to move with the ark. And the waters, when they came out of Egypt, they separated of their own accord because God made them separate their own accord. But when they got to Jordan, the waters didn't separate until they put their feet in the water. And so God is calling us to sometimes sit back and watch him, and then we move after him. But sometimes God is saying, okay, I need you to move with me.
Yes.
Ooh.
So when I move, you move.
Yes, sir.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Sometimes I need you to move with me. And so you got to keep up with the pace of the kingdom's timing. And you have to know what that pace is. It's just like this thing. You got to understand the pace.
Yeah.
And God has a pace sometimes. And if we are not focused on the pace, we'll miss the opportunity to move with God, and we'll miss the miracle. Because if they would have never stepped in the water
on.
with the ark, then they would have never been able to cross. They've been sitting back, still waiting for it to spread like the Red Sea.
We just waiting on God.
Right. And it says even at that time, the Jordans, at that time, the Jordan's banks were overflowing. And so they would have been still standing there knee deep in water because they refused to step into what was coming in to overtake them.
That's good. And again, you got to be paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't know if the people of God understand the importance of that. You have to make time. I know I'm too busy. I got this. We all busy. Everybody in here busy.
Yeah.
But how bad do you want it?
Mm.
You want it bad enough to be intentional about whatever your time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 3 hours. You need to include God in your day.
Yeah.
Because he's very strategic.
That part.
Very strategic God. And there's a blueprint to every place. Just like when you're building, you think about the building of the temple, the Ark of the Covenant, all that. There were specifics.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you weren't paying attention, you're going to mess this thing up. And so there's a blueprint to our lives.
Pastor Cherie.
And so we have to be, again, I can't stress it enough, intentional. Paying attention.
That's good. That's good.
John,
So,
go ahead.
Cherie, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
If a builder has a blueprint, right?
Uh-huh.
And they decide that they want to go rogue, they say, well, I don't want to put this over here. I want to put this. What are the risks of not following the blueprint?
First of all, whoever created the blueprint has already done the study, all the things that go with it. So they know what and what not to do, what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. So you're going to risk the whole building,
right,
not lasting. There could be calamity. It could fall.
Good Lord.
It could come to ruins. Much like our lives.
Yeah.
My God.
We're going to go rogue. Lord, I know you said go left, but I'm going to go right because I like what I see over there. Or because she going right. I want to go because I want to do what she doing. No, he said go left. You got a whole other path. And so I think sometimes we get tricked because we keep our eyes on people more than we do on God, and we miss our shift. We over there trying to shift with them. That ain't your shift. And so you could potentially cause your life, the plan to come to ruins. So that's good. John Todd says the aftershock can be worse than the earthquake. I guess this is his takeaway. Great. I don't know.
And annoying.
There will always be an aftershock after an earthquake. The aftershock can be worse. This is something you said, KJ?
Yeah, I alluded to it. Sometimes the aftershock can do more damage than the actual earthquake.
Okay.
Yeah, but the aftershock is not going to be as strong or as long as the earthquake. It's just a temporary thing. Okay. And it's just friction, and you can't allow the friction to cause you to get distracted, because the movement is going to take place regardless, and that's the thing that you have to understand about it. The movement is always taking place. Those plates are always shifting. It's just when it comes up to that fault, that those errors, those mistakes, those things, it's going to cause the friction, but it's not a penalty. It's just a consequence. And sometimes we mix up consequences with penalties and think that God is punishing us because of something we did 10 years ago. No, it's not a punishment. It's just a consequence that you're going to have to address.
Yeah.
That's good, sir. That's
good.
Because
every action has a reaction.
Yeah.
And that's called a consequence. So yeah, it ain't.
Yeah, that's,
We want to blame God for a lot of stuff, but some of this stuff, it's a reaction or a consequence because of a decision we made.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time: we get to choose our actions, but you don't get to choose the consequence.
Right.
So we have to be very mindful of that. Tracy said PKJ was necessary. This is something you said was necessary for God to cause your problems in order to protect the promise.
ooh. Oh yeah, that was that was good right there.
Yeah. You know, because again, you know, and Nate brought it out yesterday that Ishmael, it had already been spoken over his life that he was a wild ass and that his hand was going to be against every man. So just imagine if he would have stayed in the home with the promise that God had made him in Isaac.
Yeah.
And he already seeing Isaac is just a little baby now. And Ishmael is taunting him. What do you think that's going to be like when Isaac gets a little bit older? You know, and so in our own lives, again, God is trying to get us to address those issues that we have created so that he can protect what he has planned and destined for our lives. And so it's important that we have to deal with it. And so God will frustrate our issues. So he can say, okay, you need to deal with that. You need to deal with that. You need to deal with that. I remember at the beginning of this year, had a really good friend who passed away, and I was grieving, and I didn't realize that I was grieving until and what I was doing is I was eating my grief, and I didn't realize that that's what I was doing until I was traveling for work one day, and I'd gotten, you know, ordered me some Famous Dave's barbecue, and I was sitting there eating, watching TV, and some sauce dripped on my shirt, and I looked down, and I saw the sauce on my shirt, and I saw my overhang, and God said, "Okay, you got to deal with that." He said, "This is what you're doing." And the way he deals with us is always unique. He said, "This is what you do." He said, "You didn't used to see that. But because you are not dealing with your grief properly, you're eating your grief." And I gained 30 pounds in less than 30 days.
Wow.
And now the friction is now I have to go back and do things to correct what I did. It's not punishment. The correction is not punishment. It's just the consequence.
That's good. That's good.
Nah, that was good. I think, Tracy, thank you for bringing out that whole Isaac and Ishmael point that Prophet touched on. That was powerful. And because oftentimes, if we're honest, y'all, how many times have we had Isaac expectations but wound up with Ishmael issues? Wow. We had Isaac expectations. We had the thought of the promise, but we inserted ourselves into God's business and then created Ishmael issues in our lives that ultimately then we have to deal with because that was never God's promise for us. That was never his direction. So KJ, you worked that. That was powerful.
I got to go back and watch it. Wait, hold on. What is Kim saying? I'm trying to catch these comments. Exactly. Just had this talk with my neighbors yesterday. I hope this is for us. We can't keep placing blame elsewhere when we've been given the ability to choose. Anything done in the negative, you can do in the positive. Positive begets positive and vice versa. Self-accountability. I'm not sure if that was, I don't know, but that's good.
That's good.
That is.
That's Lily. I'm a grief eater as well. It's out of control right now. And I need to start working out again because I'm uncomfortable physically.
Wow.
So just sharing that just resonated with somebody, KJ.
Wow.
Jesus. And so it's going to make a lot of us more cognizant of why we do. How do we handle grief? You just eat it away or, thank you for bringing that out. It's time to take my hands off of it and place my hands up to praise Jesus. He will work it out. Child, they talking about famous days now.
And I would say, it's wonderful for us to start working out, but we still got to deal with that grief.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't erase the grief.
We still, let's not miss that. That's
Yeah,
great. We're going to work
good.
out and start dealing, but we still have to. And KJ, I'm curious, how did you start dealing with the grief? You know, because you dealt with the symptom, but how did you get to that root?
I had to really admit where I was, and go talk to somebody.
There we go.
Because if I would have tried to deal with it on my own, I would have been stuck. And so immediately after that, the next day, I called my therapist to schedule an appointment because of what I was dealing with. And so I had to talk to somebody, had to be honest with those who were around me, be honest with my wife about where I was. And then I had to, ask myself, why was this grief so hard? Because I had family members that I hadn't grieved like that.
Yeah.
But this was a friend. And why was this so difficult? And I had to begin to answer those questions. And so it was challenging, and some days it's still challenging, and the reason that was so challenging is because we had plans.
Yeah.
That we had plans, about what was going to happen, and he was getting well, and all of a sudden things shifted and they turned, and so. I had to realize I was not just grieving him; I was grieving that the plans we had to get.
Yeah. Wow!
Grieving what was to be,
what could have been.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's good.
Thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah,
that's good. Y'all, do y'all have any questions? I'll do a few more minutes. Nick said maybe there was a level of dependency on the friendship.
Yeah, like I say, we had plans.
Yeah,
and maybe our plans were not God's plans. Yeah, thanks for that, Nick. Yeah.
Somebody read Kim. I'm looking at these other ones. Here's another.
Certainly.
one.
I feel like as a race, creed, and nationality, it's been embedded to mask your emotions and be the strong person for the other family members. The thing that's forgotten is all have suffered the same loss, masking the pain causes you to find means and ways to cope. Majority of the time, it's unhealthy when we come up to our own means and ways to deal with that. We begin to self-medicate in a number of ways, and whatever that medication is to you, we self-medicate.
That's good. Here's a question: how do you grieve when a season is up for people in your life, including family and friends? How do you grieve to go on to the elevation of your life? Anybody want to take it?
I'll let one of y'all answer that, and then I'll chime in.
Yeah. So I'll do the shallow part. KJ, you can come in on the deep part. One, I think first we figure out and find out, Lord, really is the season up? My goddaughter put up something the other day and said, and this was her post. She said, it's a slap in God's face to end a relationship that you said God brought to you. And you ended based on saying that whatever reason, without first trying to rectify it. Relationships are going to go through some strife. They're going to go through some tension. They're going to go. But if God said this was it, then you figure that thing out and you work on. So I would say the first step is to figure out, Lord, is this season really up for them?
Is this just a rough patch?
Or is this just a rough patch? We just got to work through this. So so let's go on the premise that it is up. The season is up. I think Pastor Larry Weathers came in and said something so profound in the room one day. He said, rather than us doing our yearly, I'm cutting everybody off, I'm deleting you out of all that. He said, just accelerate and ascend.
Yeah.
When you accelerate and ascend, those who are not on your same level will automatically drop off and slow up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not about what you have to do to them. You just keep doing what God has told you to do.
Yeah.
You just elevate. If God has got you on a trajectory that's going up, they either got to get with it or trust and believe they're gonna fall off.
Yeah.
And that is okay, because then that means they were purposed to be with you for. We know the old analogy everybody loves to use, the rocket boosters only go up so high, and after a while they eject them.
Yeah.
They weren't meant to keep going with the rocket into space. So
And
that would be my.
have to be ugly.
It doesn't.
It
Right.
don't have to be ugly.
Don't have to be.
It doesn't. I think about when Jacob was in Laban's house, and it was time for him to move on. This was his uncle, and he was also married to his cousins, right? so that's biblical, right? And so he had some friction and some issues with his uncle, but he heard God say it was time for him to move. And when it was time for him to move, he didn't make any grand announcement.
Right.
He just left. Now, his father-in-law chases after him, and his father-in-law tries to tell him, hey, I'm entitled to be in your life because the women that you're married to are my daughters. And Jacob had to set boundaries. He says, wait a minute, they're no longer your daughters, they're my wives. These sons that I have given birth to, that my wives have given birth to, he said, they're no longer your sons, they're my sons. And so you have to, when you depart or detach, there are some people you don't need to make an announcement to.
Right.
You just need to go. And you don't owe an explanation, especially if it's toxic, and you know that if you try to give an explanation, it's going to get you wrapped up in some things. Now watch what Jacob and Laban had to do. They had a meal. They sat down. Jacob made sure that Laban understood what the conditions were. Laban understood and he agreed, and they made this statement. We say it in church as the benediction, but they say, may the Lord watch.
Yes, sir.
Between me and thee while we're absent one from another. In other words, there are some people you're going to have to sit down and just say, hey, these are the conditions of our relationships. God bless you. You be well. I be well. And then you move on. Now, I'm sure that was difficult.
Oh, yeah.
For daughters, it was difficult for Laban, but he understood and he got over it eventually, right? Some people, are going to get over it, and you're going to get over it. You're going to move on because you're going to find new friends. You're going to find new connections, right? And we can't get so inundated and overwhelmed with the connections that we're losing, because if God is disconnecting us, that means he's trying to connect us somewhere else.
That's good. If he's disconnecting us here, he's trying to connect us somewhere. That's so good.
My God.
I love it. Just keep going. Keep doing what you know God is calling you to do. And as you keep doing that, what did you say? Excel and ascend? Or
accelerate and ascend.
Accelerate and ascend. Put your foot on the gas and just go. Keep going up to where God will have you. And those who are meant to go will go. And it doesn't have to be a misunderstanding. It doesn't have to be an ugly thing. I think here's that phrase. There's just going to be a knowing among all parties involved.
Yeah.
They'll know I don't fit like that, or I don't fit like it ain't what it was.
Right.
Okay. This is going to be the last question. What do you do when you need to shift, but you don't want to hurt others, but it's hurting and destroying you? So Adrian, my and this is just, and then y'all can say whatever. My first thing I would say to you, evaluate why you feel like you have to sacrifice yourself to be hurt and destroyed. to save, y'all, how do I want to say this?
Yeah.
Why do I have to be hurt and destroyed instead of them? Why do I have to keep letting whatever they're doing, whatever's happening in this relationship that I know I need to shift from? What is it in me? What's going on inside of me that's making me feel like I got to stay here and take it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Why I got to get hurt instead of them? Because you shifting, I know we think it's going to hurt people. If they're toxic, they're just going to go find the next victim. They're going to be mad for a minute. They might talk crazy for a minute. But guess what? As you keep going, they just going to go look for the next person. So I don't think it's going to be as
That's so good.
severe as you think on their part. But I think it causes these kind of situations cause us to look inwardly. What's going on with me? Where I feel like I got to save everybody at the expense of my own self, at the expense of my own peace, at the expense of my own happiness, of my own joy, so that they can be good. Self-check. Anybody else?
I would say that we have to sometimes not look at the word hurt as always in a negative connotation. You know how we say all money ain't good money? Well, all hurt ain't bad hurt.
Come on now.
Some hurt is a catalyst for some people. I know I got 2 or 3 witnesses that's on here that can look back and say, if it had not been for what they said or what they did, I would have never gone to whatever. They needed that in order to push them into their
next place.
Right? I'll give you a quick story. When me and my wife were newly married, young couple, struggling, and I went to we were short on the rent. Let me just call it what it is. We was short on the rent. Went to one of my mentors who kept a knot in his pocket. Just that our rent was gonna be just play money for him. And he looked me in my eyes and said, no, I'm not giving you the money. You're not moving out of town. You as a young man with a new wife, you gonna find a job and you're gonna do this. Oh, was I crushed? Was I hurt?
Come on.
Absolutely. But when I tell you, when I look back, that was the best advice I could have ever gotten as a young man to say, I'm not gonna do this. So sometimes we're trying to protect someone from the hurt. And the reality is whatever shift you need to do might be exactly what God needs them to feel so they can now shift into what God has for them.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's so good. Yeah.
KJ, do you want to add anything to that?
No, y'all said it. You know, I think that those 2 things is looking at you. Why do you feel you have to sacrifice, for somebody else? Jesus made the statement. He began to expound. Somebody asked him what was the greatest commandment. He said, you shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your strength. He said the second commandment is as the first. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. So the sentence structure points to that the order is God, self, and others. And so if I cannot love myself adequately enough to say, okay, this is what's best for me, then even the love that I think that I'm giving to the person that I'm trying to keep from hurting is still faulty. It's still corrupt. It's not the real love that God, because love sometimes it draws in, but sometimes love pushes away too.
Yes. That's so good. And it goes right back to what you said. If he disconnects here, it's because he's trying to connect somewhere else. And I think that is so good, KJ.
Oh, that's good.
Keep that in our minds. It helps to again, we ain't gonna say it ain't gonna hurt. It might sting because you're about to create a new normal. But I also think if you keep accelerating The new normal is taking place, and you don't even really, because that other stuff ain't even part of my life really no more.
My God. My
So
God.
it's really just them trying to hold on.
Yeah.
But as you keep going, just know God is taking you to a new place with new relationships, new friends, new connections. And I think a lot of times we stay stuck because we want to, I love them so much, or they did so much for me. I've been there. I felt like it was me being, my loyalty was going to be in question. And God was like, oh, so you still trying to deal with this in the natural, huh? This is a spiritual matter. And so I had to just relinquish to it and say, okay, because I was having all, they did so much for me. They gave me these opportunities. They did this. They let me do this. Yeah, that ain't what we on, though. That's God said, that's not what I'm on. So you can stay over there and miss everything. So it'll sting for a moment, y'all. We're not saying it won't hurt.
Right.
Because we're humans. Our emotions get involved. But it's what you say. How did you say it? The problem is a lookout for the promise. Sometimes
Yeah.
just think about, if y'all in here, just think about some of the relationships and connections you were in, you disconnected. Look where you are now and ask yourself, would I be in this place had it not been for that pain? The pain of that disconnection.
Pastor Cherie, can I give us a little Bible? Can I give us some Bible?
Go ahead.
Two examples. Abraham, there is no doubt he loved his nephew Lot.
Come on.
In fact, he loved Lot so much that if you study this, he was planning to have Lot as his heir. Because when God told Lot when he separated, Abraham now said to God, well, who will be my heir? This Eleazar of one of my sons? Lot was the intended heir. Why? Because Sarai and Abraham had no children. The reason Abraham brought Lot was because he was planning to make Lot his heir. Now he has no heir. But let's back it up. Abraham loved Lot so much that he said, we got to separate. Because there's strife between us. You go your way. Whatever way you want to go, you go away. You pick out the best. We've got to separate. So there is a pain, I got to imagine, that Abraham had, but he needed that disconnection. Okay, that's one. The second one is Paul and Barnabas got in such a heated debate over John Mark.
Yes.
He said he can't go with me. This is not good. And so Paul and Barnabas separated. But here's the thing, and this is what I want to leave with you. It may not be for now, but it might be for you later. Because Paul said later on, I'll bring me John Mark because it's profitable for me to use him now. Oh, I can use him now. So just because you disconnect now, I feel like preaching.
That's good.
Don't mean God ain't gonna work whatever he needs to work in them for later.
Bring it back.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Bring it back. That's good. All goodbyes ain't, well, all see you laters ain't goodbyes. If
That's so good.
So yeah,
So
though we now you just, again, you got to be intentional and get the distractions out so you can hear God, because this is not cookie cutter. The only thing that's across the board is being intentional and deliberate about hearing God, doing our part in the shift, and making sure what we hear we obey.
I think you need to say that again, that it's not cookie cutter.
It is not.
And explain what you mean by that, because people need to hear that, because they can be looking at somebody else's path and think that that's so. Can you elaborate on that again?
Sure. It is not a cookie cutter situation, meaning what God does in my life, my path, how he works it out in my life. That don't mean that's how that's going to go in your life. Prime example, I'll be transparent. I remember when my marriage was in trouble. It was very turbulent. And I just knew, because I'm from church, if you fast and pray and you just get before God, and he gonna do it. He gonna change hearts and minds. He gonna turn that thing around. Y'all, I was around here fasting like a racehorse. You hear me? Clothes hanging off. Listen, God did not do what I asked him to do. But you did it for them.
Right.
And I'm hearing all these testimonies of how God changed the husband, God changed his heart, he turned this, and they got back together and they did well. It didn't happen for me like that. So I could have been in despair, and I had a little season of depression, but that was because my mind was saying that's how it's gonna work for me, because he did it for her, he did it like that for her, that it happened for her, something similar. So surely, preacher. Say, girl, I've been out here doing all this stuff for you.
Right.
You gonna let me go through this embarrassment like this? Yes.
Wow.
And so you can get stuck and get mad, walk away from God, but that was not my course. Clearly, and I'm gonna say it.
Right.
If I had stayed there in that situation, I would not be doing the things I'm doing today.
Wow.
And I'm gonna put that right there.
That's good. That's good right there.
Figure it out. I would not be doing much of the things, the position, the career changing, and the education. I wouldn't be doing all that. I already know that. Wouldn't be doing it. So it just because it happened in that person's life this way, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen for you that way. Did God knows the plans He has. He knows way better than I do. I only see what's in front of me, but God sees the big picture.
Wow.
And what I was fasting and praying for wasn't even in the plan. So let me save you from yourself, sis. That's what he said.
So Pastor Cherie, you could have been eating and enjoying all that time.
Could have been eating, honey. Honey. And then, listen, so I'm fasting praying on my own behalf.
Right.
The church turned around and go on 21-day fast. So it was real crazy over here, honey.
So everybody going hungry.
But I'm just saying, I done double mine.
Right.
Because as soon as I'm trying to end mine, the church started to fast. So I had to fast with them too. So I'm just over here, homely, clothes hanging on. You know. Initially, I was sad. I was like, God, you didn't hear me. You go, what's going on, Lord? But so I just put myself out there on the World Wide Web. But I hope
that's good. We thank you.
It's not everybody's situation, everybody's solution, everybody's path, everybody's course is not the same. Hence, quit comparing yourself. Get your eyes off of people and focus on Him. All right. Well, that's all I have. But before I go, I am going right back to this.
There we go.
Sow your seeds today, whatever you can sow. Again, we normally ask for $20 on Fridays, but if you don't have 20, then ma'ams and sirs, do what you can just to help promote the gospel, to help us reach the masses as it has been assigned to us. Do your part. It's not fair. Again, I hate to say it. I don't want to feel like I'm pumping us, but it is not fair for us to get up and come on every day feeding and bringing people in of great quality, because y'all got to say, we don't just bring anybody in here. We try to go get some of God's best to come in and pour into us. It's not fair that we get to eat all this and preach all in the comments and yes, sir, and go ahead and then that's all you got. No. Share your carnal gifts to promote the spiritual things, or even again, so we can just be a blessing to these people, so that we can keep blessing you guys, so we can keep blessing the community. Do that for us, and this is how you can do it. Our cash tag is $ the Faith Room 1. Again, $ the Faith Room 1. Whatever God puts on your heart. Again. Nothing too small and definitely nothing too big. All right. We just want to do our part in an integral manner. It's not for me to carry the load. It's not for Pastor Nate to carry the load alone. We all get to come in here and enjoy this together. So let's do our part. And all right. Any final words? We are well over our time today. But it's been good. Thank y'all so much for taking out your busy schedule, Prophet KJ, Pastor Richard, and sharing what was on your heart for the people, answering the questions and all that. Any final words?
Always a pleasure.
I've enjoyed this.
Absolutely. I thank y'all. And Lord willing, Monday I'll be back on my post.
All right.
I want to thank my staff for a wonderful job doing what you need to do, but I'll be back on my post Monday. So yeah, I look forward to it.
All right.
Amen.
Okay. So Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for all that our hearts and our minds have experienced. And Father, we pray that we don't just be hearers, but doers, oh God. Thank you for these men who have come in all week long, God, just to make sure, God, that your word is clear and concise and that it is practical. So as we take the words that you've given to us this week, we pray now, God, that you would continue to help us to be who we are called to be. We love you and we give you all the glory and all the praise. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen and thank God.
Amen.
All right. We'll see you all on Monday.